So there is one mindset shift that took us from a six-figure coaching business to a seven-figure coaching business. And I've noticed that every other coaching business that does eight, nine, even 10 figures actually and fundamentally nails at every point in their marketing process, their sales process, and their service delivery that if you can embed into your business is guaranteed to get you results immediately. And that one process is the concept of over delivering to people. So recently I read a book named Superfans, and I've also began reading another book called Unreasonable Hospitality. And fundamentally, in life and everything that we do, we have an expectation. When we click on a YouTube video like this one, you have an expectation of what you're going to get. When you scroll Instagram, you have an expectation of what you're going to get. And everything that is memorable, either in a good way or in a bad way, breaks the pattern of what we expect to see. It's in a bad way, we obviously do not like it and it gets stored as a bad memory. And if we do like it, it is stored as a good memory in our head, which we then associate positive things with. And fundamentally, as someone who runs a coaching business or any business in general, the actual big domino for achieving great results and creating great customer experiences is breaking the pattern of what people expect. And the best way to break the pattern of what people expect is to deliver personalized things that resonate with them. So the more personalized and the more things that are highly specific to only one person and exclusive that we can provide, the more that we're going to interrupt people's patterns and the more that we're going to help them. So this applies to every part of our business, but in each way it's a little bit different, so I'm going to explain. First things first, we have social media. On social media, we're receiving likes, we're receiving followers and subscribers, and we're getting comments. And a lot of people, what they're doing is they're receiving these almost handshake, hey, nice to meet you, that people are pretty much saying when they leave a comment or they follow us, and they're seeing it and they believe that it's because of them. They believe that it's because their content is so great, or yeah, they deserve to follow me, hopefully, or they're just looking at the numbers and seeing them as a statistic. And if you do this, they're going to turn into someone who might have followed you once, might see a few of your reels, maybe like you for maybe 1-2 weeks, and then eventually forget about you. And as soon as they remember to, or as soon as you post something that annoys you, they're just going to unfollow you, unsubscribe from you, and they're never going to see you again. And that's what most people do with their subscribers and people they see on social media. Instead, every single business that has a magnetic following, and especially if you're more of a micro influencer, someone who actually has the time to work with each customer, you need to be shaking hands back. So when someone likes your post, you can go ahead and you can go to their profile and you can like some of their posts. Or when someone follows you, most importantly, you want to introduce yourself and you also want to follow them back. And if you're able to continue this relationship where every time someone shakes your hand, you're meeting it and you're shaking them back just like this, you are going to create people that might have watched 1 to 2 of your videos to now seeing you as someone that they associate all these positive things with and are going to continue to want to spend more and more time with you, which turns them into a super fan. And once you've created a super fan, what these people do is they like every single post that you make, they subscribe to every single new endeavor that you have, and they buy every single product that you release. And by creating this group of super people that love everything that you do, you're going to have the ability to conquer any business that you want. And if you continue doing the same coaching business, you're going to continue to have customers that are going to either pay you on a repeat cycle, but also bring you even more customers because they will not stop talking about your brand and what you do. So the first thing, once again, is on social media, we need to be shaking people's hands back. The next thing where I see this applied is going to be in our setting and sales process. A lot of the time, someone comes into our funnel. Amazing that we're actually going to go ahead and call them or have set or speak with them. But pretty much if it's in the DMs or on the phone, what a setter is going to do is going to ask the fundamental question to get them to say the base level of their problem. Then they're going to provide a solution, and then they're going to ask if they're qualified. And if they're qualified, then they're going to go ahead and say, hey, please book on this calendar. And the issue with that is that the second that they book on that calendar, the setter no longer cares. The setter doesn't care. He's done his job. And that happens the exact same with the salesperson. So the salesperson has a bunch of calls on their calendar and they see each of them as a potential money opportunity and nothing more. And what that causes is they're going to hop on the call with these people and they're going to go, okay, well, you want to buy? Well, if I can't convince you to buy immediately in these next 45 minutes to an hour, then you're done. And the second they hop off that call and they don't buy, they're done. And this goes all the way to service delivery where people work with people, make sure they're happy. And as soon as they're happy, they're done. And they'll never go ahead to actually over deliver and make sure someone's experience is exceptional. So the way that we solve this in the setting process is, first off, you as the founder need to understand the concept of what happens when you over deliver and what kind of experiences it creates. And then from that point on, you can affect the culture of your team, which I'll show you how to do. But the setters, what they should be doing is, first things first, they should be incentivized based on closed deals in some way, shape, or form. And once they have actually set an appointment, their job should not just be to, okay, now it's the closer's responsibility, I'm done. Their job should be to bridge the gap. So we have the setter here, we have the closer here, and we have the prospect. And the goal, and something that we did in our coaching business, is we integrated the three together. So we would have the setter on the phone with the person go, okay, amazing. Well, I'm actually going to put you in a WhatsApp group with the closer, so you can get introduced before the call. And then what they'd go ahead and do is they plug the closer, the setter, and the actual prospect into a three-way group chat. And what that would do is, once the closer goes ahead and receives that notification and sends a personal video message in where he talks about his experience and pretty much what the setter told him, that customer feels that they're having a completely unique experience, and everything that they associated good with the setter now gets handed off to the closer, and the closer has immediate goodwill and doesn't have to go to the discovery phase to start the call. In addition, the setter, after they've already made that WhatsApp group and after they've got the set, quote unquote, one of the things that is the most important thing to do to show to your prospects is that you care about them fundamentally. So the first step of that is remembering everything that they told you. And then from that point on, once you've already got the set, always finding a way to go above and beyond while you're still on the phone with them. So for us, the best way to do that was to sit down after they have booked the appointment, after we qualified them, and we would sit down and we would say, okay, well, I want to see if there's something that I can do while I'm still on the phone with you here to just help make your life a little bit better before we actually sit down and discuss everything about how we can work with your business. So, I mean, based on what you told me about X, Y, and Z, I think that we can do, and then we continue on to go through and work through how to actually still provide them immediate value. And the setters will not get off the phone until there's a transformation that they went through and actually achieved a great result, so that going into the sales process, they already associate us with all these good things. And the closer is a part of that because they've sent a video message to introduce themselves and show that they cared, because the setter included everything that they learned about the prospect in the actual note or video message that prompted them to go into the WhatsApp group, so that we can show once again that we are paying attention. Then from that point on, let's say we get the sale because we've spent all this time from the very top of the funnel making sure we interact, make this person a lifelong customer, into the setting and sales. They've now become a customer for us. This is where a lot of the people, they learn this magic, they use it to make money, but then when it comes to actually retaining money and getting it paid consistently from the same people over and over again, they completely forget about. And in order to actually deliver exceptional service delivery results, which by the way is the domain where it is the easiest to do, all you need to do is fundamentally, once again, think, all right, well, what do these people perceive as normal? Well, they perceive the deliverables that you saw as normal. They perceive the direct communication channel. They perceive the value that they're receiving. And they also perceive the results and the goals that they're trying to go after as the base level of what they expect. And the way that we're going to do this in service delivery is we're just going to add a little bit on top of each of those things. So let's say that we're showing someone how to get to $10,000 a month with whatever coaching or program service we're offering. The first thing that I would do on the onboarding call is say, yeah, we're trying to get you to $10,000 a month, but honestly, I think with what you've told me right now, I think you can get to X amount, and that amount would be 50,000, 25,000, whatever you actually think they can achieve if they were to max out their potential. And pretty much from the very start of the process, including the onboarding, we expect more of themselves than they initially opted in to actually achieve and go for, which makes the experience and the transition that they're actually operating on so much more meaningful, because they now see themselves as someone who's not only going to get to the base level of why they purchased, but the next level of what they purchased. And we can extend this relationship on from maybe it was a 3 months to $10,000 a month program. We can say, hey, within the next 6 months, I want you at $50,000 a month. Or let's say it's an add 10 pounds of muscle in 3 months. So I want you to add 10 pounds of muscle in the next 3 months. But dude, I think you could add 25 pounds of muscle in the next 6 months. And if you're priming that from the very start of the relationship and asking them for more than they expect of even themselves, they're going to associate everything that you do now with being above and beyond to achieve those results. And all it takes is one change in the onboarding. It's literally that simple. You don't have to change the level of the customer service or the enthusiasm that you provide on the calls and try and psych that up. That all helps, and that is all part of service delivery. But the one little hack that you can use on the onboarding is simply painting out the customer relationship of what you two are doing together, way beyond the actual program that you're there delivering for them on that day. And because of that, they associate everything that they're doing now in correlation with that long-term goal. And once that happens, they now see that you care more about them than even they themselves might have. And goals that they might have had for themselves are way smaller than the one that you presented to them, which makes it so valuable. And if we can do that in our social media, our setting, our sales, and our service delivery process, it's going to make everything that we do more meaningful for people. And all it takes is conscientious attention from you as the founder to understand that that's how you make money. But then with your team, if you want to shift the culture to doing this, it means that first off, you have to promote it. They need to understand it, and they also need to be incentivized to do so. So one of the things that I quickly dropped is that setters should be partially incentivized by deal closed. And if you really do have good sets and you have good closes, you can also incentivize your setters completely based on a commission for closing deals. And what this does is instead of them just trying to set appointments to get appointments through the door, they're now incentivized about getting the person the closest and the warmest possible to the handoff to actually have them work with us in a meaningful and valuable way so that they can get payment on the commission. And a lot of the time, if you design the structure properly, they can make way more money than if they got paid a flat rate or a scaling rate based on appointment set. So that's the first way. With the closers, exact same thing of incentivizing them based on the long-term actual payment cycle that a customer has and not just the upfront deal size closed. So if you can actually incentivize someone based on the continuation of them continuing to work with you and paying you, and the closer has incentivization to do that, they're only going to close good people, and they're going to close them in a way where their expectations are aligned with having a very good vision, because the closer understands their income can stack as a result of that. On social media, all it takes is a VA to do, or even you yourself can able, and I suggest you yourself go in and do it, but just going ahead and creating memorable experiences. And if you have setters that you trust, you can also give them the logins of your social media, and they can start doing this as well, because chances are a lot of those people you interact with are going to be good sets for your company as well. But fundamentally, integrate this across the rest of your business, and you, I kid you not, will create today more memorable experiences that will allow people to resonate with your brand more and want to pay you more money. And I hope the value that you got in this video is worth the time that you spent. Have a good one.